Well, thank you, Guy. To make this right and fitting, I need John Belsick, Mark Johnson, and Michael Gardner. If you guys are in the house, come on up. They're not used to being on stage. Where's Gardner? Sit together, stand together. Yeah. So thank you for the indulgence, Mr. President and members of the Code Council. I wanted to take just a few minutes to recognize someone from the ICC team who's been an instrumental part of the organization for many, many years. And to help us celebrate that, I've asked President Tomberlin, John Belsick, Mark Johnson, and Michael Gardner to help me do this. So, Tom Frost is a Senior Vice President of Technical Services, and Tom has announced that he'll be leaving ICC and retiring at the end of this year. It's amazing to think about Tom's 37 years at ICC and Boca. As many of you know, Tom has had an extraordinary career at ICC. He will leave an indelible mark on our association, especially in the area of code development. His leadership has been vital in the ongoing development of the international codes and our standards that are the source of ICC's mission. Tom's professionalism has been admired and respected by many, particularly his continual focus on building a better team for ICC. I want to take just a moment before we hear from Tom to show you a video about what other people think about Tom Frost and his legacy here at ICC.
Tom Frost, Senior Vice President, Technical Services.
Terry LaPeller was interviewing me for the job at Boca in the summer of 1978.
At this point, enter Tom Frost, a knowledgeable and promising architect. Tom's rise in the organizational structure is a testament to his capability and correctly anticipated growth as a leader, a gifted technician, a wise counselor with an understanding of member needs and expectations.
First met Tom probably 1987, give or take a year. We were part of the National Evaluation Service, which was a cooperative effort of the 3 model code groups evaluation services. It was under CABO, and Tom was the lead guy at Boca, and he would ballot. He got to ballot a lot of the NES reports.
Tom, congratulations on your retirement from the ICC. You were my first boss when I left engineering school and joined the Boca staff in March of 1984. And I have to say it was a pleasure working with you.
Well, what do you say to your boss who's retired? You say, good luck, goodbye, and good riddance. But see, that's not what you really should say. You should say, I wish you, a long, healthy, safe retirement and best of luck in that thing. So, I started thinking about what can be really more worth to say about an individual who's worked with a company for 37 years for the same company. So what qualities or words do you put with a person like that? And I came up with a few right here. Quality, committed, dedicated, loyal, knowledgeable, and respected. And that's what Tom Frost was.
I met Tom on my first day working at Boca International. It was in February of 1987. I was hired, I was in the plan review department. Tom was in the evaluation service department. He headed it up. And I can recall to this day the first time he came over to my cubicle and introduced himself. And what I recall was his command of the English language. Tom, he's basically a walking dictionary in terms of phrases, terminology, and to this day. So ever since I've heard him, heard him speaking the first time, and I've been working with him ever since, have always been quite impressed with his command of the English language, and you know, an awful lot of times he'd talk to me, and then I got to run the Webster dictionary to find out exactly what he was talking about.
I met Tom in 2009, and he showed up in my office my first day on the job, and came in to have a little conversation first thing in the morning, and we've been doing that same thing virtually every day ever since then. So he's been my first morning meeting every day for the last 6 years. In that time, we've covered a wide range of topics, but there seems to be a couple of consistent themes. One is his ever-present coffee cup that every day accompanies him up here and is part of the ritual. Tom is also known in meetings to, especially particularly afternoon meetings, he becomes, his eyelids get a little heavy, let's put it that way. And so he oftentimes will close his eyes, but he always claims and says he's not actually sleeping, he's just becoming deeply introspective. So Tom, when you're retired and in the afternoons when you're feeling deeply introspective, I guess the advantage will be that whenever that mood hits you in retirement, you'll be able to get deeply introspective at your leisure. So good luck with that, and we'll figure you'll be well rested and in your retirement.
I've been working directly for Tom basically since the merger. He was the SVP of Technical Services, under which I was on the co-development side, and John Battles and Chris Reeves were on the other side. And the one thing I'll always recall, which I appreciated with Tom, was one, you always knew where you stood with Tom, and two, he let you do your job.
Hi Tom, Chris Reeves here. On my first day of work over 30 years ago, Tom took me out to lunch. I didn't know it then, but that was the only time Tom would ever take me out to lunch. Tom then dumped 3 research reports on me that afternoon, even though I was hired to work in the plan review department. Thanks, Tom. All kidding aside, I really appreciate everything that you've done for me over the years. Have a happy retirement. Best of luck to you, buddy.
Congratulations on your continued survival. That goes without saying until you said it. Indeed. Never slap a man chewing tobacco. What have we got to look forward to today? When I needed to flip-flop on a previously taken code interpretation position, just tell them you reserve the right to get smarter. Entropy, death, and decay. The second law of thermodynamics. Now that's a picker-upper. Let us rejoice and greet the day. I have cheated death again. You can never have enough fuel on board unless, of course, you're on fire. Any landing that you can walk away from is a good one. And if you can reuse the airplane, it's a great one. Best to have a gun and not need it than to need it and not have one.
Those of you that are going to be attending the Long Beach hearings following the business meeting and the banquet, you'll see Pfeiffer up there at his usual spot up in the front row. Usually Tom historically is sitting right next to me, and you know, we have some interesting give and take in terms of what's going on with the hearings, but he's got the iPad out, he's looking at the code changes, and it really is, as a lot of people say, it's an educational session for, you know, to learn about the code and the code change process.
Every year there's always an annual rituals become our December golf outing, and we always make sure we get out to the golf course somewhere in the first week of December, and we of course will expect Tom's participation, even in retirement, to be present at those golf outings.
Welcome to retirement from your friends at ICC.
I am leaving soon, and you will forgive me if I speak bluntly. The universe grows smaller every day, and the threat of aggression by any group, anywhere, can no longer be tolerated. There must be security for all or no one is secure. This does not mean giving up any freedom, except the freedom to act irresponsibly. I came here to give you these facts. It is no concern of ours how you run your own planet. But if you threaten to extend your violence, this Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder.
You gotta love it. Tom, we will miss your good humor, your strength of character, and your passion for the organization. But I know Tom's leaving tech services in very, very capable hands with Mike Pfeiffer. We have every confidence in the world that Mike will continue to deliver the high standards of quality, professionalism, and member support that Tom Frost established. So Tom, please join us up here for a comment or two, and let's congratulate Tom on his retirement. Thank you, Tom. Trying. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I honestly didn't see this coming. Yeah, I've been employed by the Model Codes for 37 years, and to my way of thinking, that means that in all that time, I couldn't find a better deal. But it's been a terrific job. I've never really had a bad day. While I look forward to retirement, I have no doubt that I'm going to miss this experience in ways that I can't anticipate. But nonetheless, it's time to move on. I look forward to turning the reins over to Mike Pfeiffer, who's probably the most qualified person I know for that task. And once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. On behalf of myself, the board of directors, and the members, thank you for a job well done. We too wish you a wonderful retirement. I have another year or so of travel left, so I was hoping maybe Tom could travel with me. I think he's a licensed pilot, and then every time you see him at the end of a flight, that's where the cheated death came from. You'd say, how's your flight, Tom? And he'd say, cheated death again. So maybe I'll have him travel with me, because apparently he's good at it, 37 years.